In this video, I will explain how to install and set up Zotero. Zotero is reference management software. You can use it to build a library of references to journal articles, books, reports, and much more. You can then use the information about each item captured in Zotero to create citations and bibliographies in a wide array of referencing styles. You can access it through a web version, or you can download a desktop app, which is what we are looking at here. You can also download the Zotero app on iOS and Android, so to your phone, and it is free to use. So the first thing that we are going to do is install the desktop application. So if you go to zotero.org, you will see this page here. You can get here by Googling Zotero, or you can type in this address up at the top. In the middle of the screen, you have got this download button. If you click on that, it will take you to this screen. So you can see here, it has detected what operating system I am on. So I'm using Windows. If you click on that, it will start to download the main desktop application. Over here, it has been able to tell that I am on Google Chrome. So it has given me the option to download this Zotero connector for Google Chrome. What that does is it puts an extension on your browser up here. So when you are looking at an item that you might want to save to your Zotero library, if you have Zotero open in the background, you can click on this button when you're looking at that PubMed entry, for example, and it will save it to whatever folder you have open at that moment in time. Sometimes it'll look like a Zotero logo, but most of the time it will look like a little page icon like you can see here. If you hover over it, you can see that it says Save to Zotero, so you know that that is the correct extension. Once you have downloaded both of these things, if you are likely to be using Word when you are writing, open up Word and just double check that Zotero is appearing as a tab in your ribbon. You should see something like this when you click on it. It's also worth checking to see which version of Zotero you are on regularly. So to do that in Windows, if you go to Help and then About Zotero, you can see here which version you are on. If you go to Help and then check for updates, it will tell you here if there is a new update for you to download. It's a good idea to check this fairly regularly because you can't always guarantee that Zotero will tell you when a new version is released. The first thing to do is create a free Zotero.org account. While this isn't required, we would recommend you create one. This enables you to add items to your library from any device. So if you have the app downloaded on your phone, you will be able to see which items you had saved from the desktop version, for example. It gives you 300 megabytes of storage for free, with an option to purchase additional storage if you need, but so far we've not found a need to do that. You can also create groups and collaborate with other Zotero users in shared libraries. So to do that, if you go back to this page and click on Login, it will give you an option to register for a free account. So you can do that on this page here. Once you've done that, if you go back to Zotero, go to Edit and Settings. If you go to this Sync tab here, you've got space to enter those login details. It also gives you the option here to create an account, and that will take you to the page we just saw. So I've already got an account, so I'm going to put in my account details and then click Set Up Syncing. So you can see there it's working on that and it's logged me in here. Once you've logged in, new options will appear. So you can choose here whether you would like it to sync automatically and whether you would like any full text content that becomes attached to items to sync as well. I would recommend that you check both of these boxes here. For these, I would also recommend checking them if they are unchecked. Once you've done that, if you click on the General tab up at the top, we can start to set it up to your preferences. So up here you can see you've got some options on how it appears to you. You can choose to have it in light mode or dark mode. For me personally, I prefer dark mode. You can choose the language that you'd like to use, so obviously English UK is the most appropriate here. Then if we scroll down, you've also got some items to do with files attached to the things in your library. For the most part, I would recommend leaving this as is unless you have any specific things that you'd like to set up. You can also set your resolver as well. So at Sheffield Children's, we have one in Zotero. If you click on that drop down, go to Europe, United Kingdom, and then you can see in the middle here, you've got Sheffield Children's as an option. So if you click on that, and that will help when you are saving items. For the rest of these, I would recommend leaving them as they are. On the Export tab, you have the ability to select your default referencing style that you want your references to appear in when you export from Zotero. So if you click on this drop down, you can see you've got a lot of options here. I have APA 7 selected, but you can choose another one if you prefer as well. The rest of these I would recommend leaving as they are. Then you have the Cite tab. This allows you to select the default style for your citations and bibliography. This list may include ones which have been previously downloaded, or ones that Zotero provides as well. You can see here there are a fair few, and then you've got the dates that they are updated as well. If there are any that are missing that you would perhaps like to add, if you click on this Get Additional Styles, you can search for it there. Under the Word processors, you can see here there's an option to reinstall the Microsoft Word add-in. So if for whatever reason it's not appearing when you go and you look at this tab, you don't have the Zotero in the ribbon, if you click on this button, you can reinstall it and it will sort of reset that. We would recommend that you leave this Use Classic Add Citation dialog checked as is. The final tab is the Advanced tab, and here you can find some specific settings to do with aspects such as language and shortcuts, as well as some more complex settings. So if you have something really specific you'd like to set in here, then feel free to do so, but for the most part we'd recommend that you use the default settings. So now if I exit out of this, I know I've already got some items saved to Zotero, so now that I'm logged in, I can click on this sync button up at the top. And you can see here it's starting to populate the items that I have saved. So that is how to set up and install Zotero. We will also be putting out some videos on using Zotero, so keep an eye out for that. If you have any questions about using Zotero or you would like a training session, then contact the library for this. The details are in the information.